Hey guys, I'm back. So, what happened was, um, I had a series of videos, a few, the older ones, much older ones, that I don't know what happened, but they all got copyright. Um, Not so much strikes, like my channel didn't get copyright strikes, but they were copyrighted because of some music that I used in the end when I showed some pictures. And they've been up there for years, years. I don't know. So I had to take them down. So I'm putting them back up, I guess, with different re-editing. They are terrible videos, and what you're about to watch is a terrible video, but it goes all the way back to the first days of this channel. I don't remember what order this was in the history of knives I've done, but it's really early on, and it's two Ontario Rat ones that I did while deployed, my last deployment, in 2012. Yeah. So I'm putting it back up because it's, history of stuff being done. It is terrible. It is awful. But I hope you enjoy. Some of you may have seen it, and a lot of you may have never seen this video. But here are two custom done Rat ones I did, sitting in OEF in 2012. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, what's up? Got two special knives to show you today. Special because they're the last two knives I'm going to work on in this deployment. We're at the point where I just got to pack up my stuff, and these are the last two I got done. Also, on a side note, my poor Dremel. Oh, it is on its deathbed right now. The environment out here is really horrible. Really sucks. The humidity, the heat, the dust, everything. It's just it's just not good. So I'm probably going to ship it home. I'm going to have somebody look at it, but I have a feeling I'm going to be laying it to rest and replacing it with something brand new when I get there. Anyway, I spent some of my off-duty time this past night working on these two knives. One of them is mine, one of them belongs to one of the troops here, and if you recognize what you're looking in front of you, I think you could figure out what knives they are. These are the old plastic scales, the handles from a pair of Ontario Rat 1s. The gray scales over here, this belongs to my Rat 1, and the Coyote Brown, this belongs to one of the troops out here. We both love the Rat 1. The Rat 1 gives some of the best value in terms of a tactical or EDC or just, everyday utility knife versus price you pay just about anywhere. It's a fantastic knife, and there's a million reviews on them. So if you're not familiar with the Rat 1, just search it and, take a look at some of those reviews and then go ahead and get yourself one. But we're going to look at the two I did. I got rid of these plastic scales, obviously, because neither of us like them very much. These scales should look familiar to people that have been watching my videos, my small little contingent of subscribers, and just other people that have popped on by to see them. I've shown my Rat 1 in a couple other videos, just because the Rat 1 is worth mentioning in a lot of different situations. So remember these gray scales when you see the completed knife, because I think the transformation is great, and I can't wait to work on another Ontario Rat 1. It's just going to have to wait a while, but let's take a look. I'm going to start with my buddies. He couldn't decide what pattern he wanted. He knew that he wanted the blue and black G10, and I think it looks super. And of course, the pictures will illustrate the color a little bit better than the video ever does at the end, but he couldn't decide what kind of pattern he wanted. He wanted Anzo, he wanted Reptile, he wanted the little leafy fern pattern that I put on Benchmade, if you've seen that video once upon a time. He just couldn't decide. So in the end, we decided he was going to use this a lot, taking it hunting and camping and stuff. So we did sort of an Anzo, but sort of also like a tree bark pattern, sort of, that I saw once upon a time. And I don't know, whatever. The pattern doesn't matter. It looks really nice. The colors are really great. This was 1/8 G10 with the 2x2 layered black and blue. Side note, if I ever do another Rat 1, I'm probably going to use 3/16, not 1/8, because I used 1/8 on both the knives that I'm going to show you. But he just... he really liked it, really wanted something special, and so it still opens really nicely. The action is great. Putting these things back together is not as easy as you might think. I don't know if I did something wrong, but it took me a long time to get both of the knives I'm going to show you today with the blades as centered as they are, and you'll see they're still even a little bit off center. Initially, when I put them back together, the blades were scraping against that liner, and I can get the blades perfectly centered, but you can't open them once I do it. So I don't know what went on or what I did wrong, or if there's some secret trick. If there is some secret trick out there to get these things to work better, please tell me. But they work just as well as when they were bought. They just don't seem to close as nicely. Anyway, so this is the one, and there's not a whole lot done with this besides just the scales, as you can see. We kept all the original hardware, and we had traded. His originally came with the satin blade, mine came with the black blade, but we had figured that the black blade was going to go a lot nicer with the blue and black, so I let him have it. I wish the colors would come out on the video better, because the colors are really, really nice. Really, really like them. And of course, he chose no lanyard hole, and he's right-handed, so he's always going to carry it right-handed. He's a tip-up carry kind of person too, so I didn't even bother to put the holes on there for the other clip options, because this is going to be his knife. No one else but him is ever going to carry this or use it. So there's one. Put that down. Mine, I decided I was going to do some green and black, because I did some green and black work once upon a time. I really like the way it came out. It's just the knife that I did it on, you couldn't really see the color pattern very well. I don't know what went on. I did a crazy pattern, and I'll put a link over here somewhere. It's a Benchmade Nitro Striker that I redid. Anyway, check out the video if you want to see that knife, because it's worth seeing. I think it's interesting. But anyway, here comes mine with the green and black layer G10. Again, 1/8 2x2. This is a pattern I don't know, I'm not going to say I invented it, because I know somebody's done it before, but I came up with it just off the top of my head as I was working on a CRKT Razzle, and at this point, I honestly can't remember if I uploaded that video or not, but I've got a video of that one too, so if it's online, I'll put a link to it. If not, whatever. But it's just a simple pattern, and I just think it shows off the color differences really, really nicely. I really love the green in this. It's kind of a foresty green and black, and it just, the color combinations are really, really nice in this G10. And I just wanted to do a little extra something on mine, so I had some jade green scraps left over from when I did my SigTac Rangemaster, and I epoxied them together to give it the right length and width and everything, and I made what I think is a pretty nice backspacer for this one, on top of the regular old posts that are in there, and they're in there to make sure it's all held together nicely. You can see them in there, but the jade goes really, really nicely with the forest green. You can't tell, but maybe you can or not. I actually have a very thin pair of jade liners underneath this G10, but I don't think you can tell at all. See a little bit of the epoxy that I have to clean up, and I will clean that up. But when I went and did the pattern, I did the pattern in general, and then after it was all done, I measured out the backspacer, and if it's showing up, I can't tell. I did a little mini reptile pattern sort of on the backspacer, just very quickly, very roughly done. But it's pretty nice. It adds just a little bit extra to the grip, and I love Jade G10 because it lets light through, and it shows really nicely, and it complements. I think there's very few things that it doesn't go with. So anyway, I've got his satin blade, which I think actually looks great with the jade and with the green and black. So I'm happy we made that trade. Functionality of mine is actually a little bit better than his, not too much. So you see the centering is still a problem. It's not scraping, but it's still a problem. I did the cutouts in here to make sure the blade could fit nicely inside the liners, and that all worked out well. Interesting thing I didn't realize about the Rat 1, you actually have to do a cutout, kind of a milling out right there for the liner lock. I wasn't aware of that until I took the other scales off and saw it. But this one, same, like I said, same problem. Put it all back together. Couldn't get it centered very nicely, but after a while, I got it functional and everything, and I'll continue to work on it. I really love the colors on this. I don't know if I'm a fan of the pattern I came up with for it, but as for the colors are great. The patterning on it, it gives you good grip. It gives you much better grip than what was on it, and it feels good in the hand. It's not very much wider, and I think everybody knows I like a wider handle on a knife. But working with the 1/8 scales instead of the 3/16, I couldn't really make it very much wider, and still do a lot of grinding on it. But because I may not keep this one forever and ever, I put the lanyard hole in it. I still only set it up for right hand tip up carry, but I can very easily take one of these scales off and drill holes somewhere else if somebody wants it, and they want to carry it differently. I love this knife. It's a great cutting tool. Aus 8 steel, I've been reading and I've heard a lot of reviews, negative and positive about it. I'm okay with it. I think it works pretty well for what you pay for it and everything. And the Rat 1 is just a superior knife compared to a lot of the other less expensive knives out there. The thing about the Rat 1 is that the shape of it and the size of it, it's a good canvas to work on. You know, it's about 5 inches, because that's the G10 scales. As a matter of fact, the green and black scale was just slightly shy of 5 inches, so I had to do some modifying to cover the whole handle, and I think I did pretty well, because you probably couldn't tell that until I said anything about it. But like I said, the shape of it, the size of it, just lends itself really well to custom work. So you know, there's so many options when you're working with the Ontario Rat 1. So many different choices, so many different things you can do with it, different projects. Like I said, my last 2 deployed knife projects. So I still have some other videos that I'm probably going to put up just to pass the time, but these are the last ones I'm going to be working on out here. However, just so everybody knows now, this is not going to be the last custom knife video. Just the order I'm deciding to put them up in. I'm still working on taking the raw video from some of them and editing it and everything, so you'll probably see these online before the last videos, which are not the last knives, if that makes any sense. I love both of these, actually. I think both of these came out really nice. If nothing else, the colors. The patterns are pretty simple, but the colors are great, and these knives wear these patterns and these colors really well. There they are, Ontario Rat 1s, blue and black, green and black, and I thank you all for watching as always, and I'll be back real soon.